Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, the 24th day of March, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thank you for tuning in to KSJE. We're at 90.9 FM, over the air, of course, here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening anywhere else on the planet today, you've gone to our website to tune us in. That's ksje.com. Welcome also to our viewers who are joining us this morning. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everybody. So glad that you were with me this morning, because coming up in the next few moments, my guests from Presbyterian Medical Services. We're going to be talking about the children's services here in the San Juan County area and also the Community Compass Navigation Center and much, much more. Stay tuned for that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE this morning. Then later on this hour, we'll check in with Lewis Campbell, my guest on our Monday Reboot segment. That's when we talk about technology news. That is coming up today, 8:50 a.m. right here on KSJE. And that takes us to Mick Hess, our Roving with the Arts program at 9:06. Classical music coming your way after the news right here on KSJE as well today. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on X and Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast person, we invite you to subscribe for free to KSJE Podcast. You'll find them at places where you're already listening to podcasts. So subscribe and maybe discover a new local program that you may have missed. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a mostly sunny morning this morning, 40 degrees at the moment. We're expecting a mostly sunny and mild day today with a high of 66 in Farmington. Overnight low tonight down to 40. It'll be sunny and warmer tomorrow with a high near 70. Overnight low tomorrow night 41. Sunshine and even warmer on Wednesday with a partly sunny skies and 74 degrees for a high. And those winds may kick up Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday with highs again right near 70 degrees. Back with my guests with more right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The caregivers of San Juan Regional Medical Center are committed to bettering the quality of life, health, and care of individuals, families, and our communities. Life is their sacred trust. Better is their mission. Here is their home. San Juan Regional Medical Center, improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910.
Life is all about getting from one place to another, from home to work, between school and the store. But what if you don't know exactly how to get there? That's where the Navigation Center can help. Maybe you've lost vital documents, need help with housing, or can't find a medical provider. Located inside Presbyterian Medical Services at 1001 West Broadway, the Navigation Center can help you navigate life's challenges. The San Juan County Navigation Center, connecting to resources, empowering lives.
Back in Studio A with my guest this morning, as I mentioned, from Presbyterian Medical Services. Jyl Adair is here. She is the Northwest Region Director for PMS. Good morning. Welcome back to KSJE. Nice to have you here.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
You bet. Also joining us this morning, Frankie Ortiz is here. He is the brand new Director of the PMS Children's Services area in the Northwest Region. Frankie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having me.
And by Director, I mean Administrator.
Yes.
But thank you. But thank you for being here as well. Congratulations on your recent promotion.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
You bet. Great to have you both here to talk a bit about the work that you all do at PMS. And as a full disclosure to our audience, remember, audience, I'm a member of the board of directors of Presbyterian Medical Services, proud to be on the board. And so I have a little bit of insight into the organization. And so, Jill, let me start with you a little bit about something that we just heard about, and that is the Community Compass Navigation Center. It just recently opened with great fanfare earlier this year, and I'm wondering if you could give us a little bit of an update on how things are going.
You bet. So the Community Compass is located down at our Farmington Community Health Center at 1001 West Broadway. And so that center was really derived from the initiative of the 100% San Juan initiative. And so with that, we have partnered with San Juan County, the Navigation Center, as you heard. So our update with that piece, what's exciting is that we've been able to bring in different resources where we have satellite offices. So they come in, we have Echo Food Bank that we've been working with. We have, food boxes that we're able to provide out that if any individuals are needing some dry foods in that fashion. We are still working on trying to figure out how to get some produce, on one day a week to be down there. And then we also have Salvation Army and, I believe that the other one is our veterans that we're working with them as well on coming in for one day a week so that we can truly say, hey, on this day, this is where instead of going to 5 different places, you could be just coming down to the Community Compass. The navigators through the Navigation Center, they can still help you out with whatever you're needing. Let's say if you're just needing your Social Security card, birth certificate, an ID, or you need a place to do some training, we're there for that.
Nice. And the idea being that this is a one-stop shop kind of an area for folks to come to, and it's right there at the Presbyterian Medical Services Community Health Center, as you mentioned, kind of the campus down there.
Yes.
You've got lots of room for these other satellite offices, for these other folks who are partnering with you, and the county, of course, is another partner. And then if folks need medical care or dental care or mental health care, that is also literally right next door.
Absolutely. And that's one of the niceties of that location. There's a bus stop right there. And so we are able to connect to early childhood services, whether it be for our Head Starts, early Head Start, pre-K, or if they need early intervention services, or if they need just assistance getting on the DD waiver for, our adults with disabilities, which really is no longer adults with disabilities. We're now taking them at age 13. So yes, we are able to connect them and navigate them into any service that they need.
Nice. Very good. Well, congratulations on all the successes and the partnerships, of course, that are being forged through this innovative program, and 100% San Juan County and Presbyterian Medical Services and all the other groups that are putting their efforts into this project. So it's a great resource. And again, it's located at the near the Farmington Community Health Center. That's about the address 1001.
1001 West Broadway, and it's
right.
in Suite D, so it's in our the behavioral health building,
Right.
which is right next door to the medical side.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. People as old as me would remember it as American Plaza, and that's not American isn't even there anymore. So
It's not even there anymore.
So-
I think it used to be a Piggly Wiggly one time.
that's, I think, true. I've heard that as well.
Yes.
So, but you mentioned Children's Services, and that's a great way to go to our next guest as well, who's with you this morning as well, Frankie Ortiz, who, as I mentioned, is brand new to the job of administrator of Children's Services. And Frankie, let me turn to you a little bit, because that puts you in charge of Head Start and Early Head Start and the home visiting program that PMS offers here in the area, correct?
That is correct. Yes, we do have the early Head Start, New Mexico Pre-K, and then the home visiting program, as mentioned.
Very good. And as Jill has been trying to teach me for these many years, all about Children's Services, talk to me a bit about what that includes then, the Head Start and Early Head Start programs. Let's start there.
Yeah, so Early Head Start and Head Start is a grant-funded program through the federal government. We service students ages 0 through 5 years old. It is an income-based program, so eligibility, you have to be eligible through income. We do have some slots where we provide this, are allowed to service over-income families. And aside from Early Head Start, we have the New Mexico Pre-K, and that is a 3 through 5 year old program. All three programs are in full effect, getting ready to wrap up most of them. We do have some programs or some classrooms for early Head Start, and the pre-K dual enrollment classrooms that go through the summer, but majority of our classes will end now in May.
You follow the school year.
Yeah, for the school year, and we still are recruiting. Head Start on the classes that end now in May. Unfortunately, we are going to stop recruiting now at the end of March, only because we have a 60-day requirement for certain screenings and assessments we need to do. So that'll give us, the 60 days by the time that school year ends.
Sure.
But early Head Start is still ongoing for recruitment because they are just about year-round.
Right.
And we are also currently recruiting for the upcoming school year, the 25-26 school year.
I was going to say, it's not too early to think about that, is it?
Yeah, no, definitely. We do have applications coming in, and we are out there recruiting as best as we could. Aside from the early Head Start New Mexico Pre-K, we have home visiting, which is a volunteer program for students under 5 years old. It is a program where we help strengthen relationships between families and their children. We have certified parent educators using the evidence-based curriculum, Parents as Teachers. So basically what they do is they go into the children's homes and work with the students twice a month, and then provide resources so they can carry out through the remaining time.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a tool that I guess parents can invite you in to work with them and their children, right? Maybe if
Absolutely.
they're having questions about how their child is developing or things like that, or want to make themselves available of this program?
Absolutely, and we get it a lot sometimes when we are doing recruitment and enrollment for early Head Start. We do get a lot of families that maybe put the application in, and last minute they say, no, I don't think I'm ready to send my kid to school. And one big thing that I approached just recently was, well, hey, if you're not ready for early Head Start, let's get you into the home visiting. Maybe you don't want to send your kid to the classroom just yet, but our home visiting could actually go into your child's home and work with them from home. And you were talking about, concerns about developmental. We do work with Roundtree, who is the early intervention for PMS, and if we do have referrals through home visiting, we could refer them through Roundtree.
Right, but not just limited to that, certainly.
Yes,
You
yes.
deal with children of all abilities.
All abilities and disabilities and, all the way around.
Right, very, very good. And your background, Frankie, a little bit, is you've been working in this area for a while before you became administrator, is that correct?
Yeah, so I've been with PMS since July of last year. I started as the education coordinator. In December, I moved over to the family service coordinator. And the difference between those is education focuses on education, providing those resources and accounts such as like the curriculum, assessments, monitoring those data tools that we use. And then family service is all about the ERC, the eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, and attendance part of Head Start. And like you mentioned a few minutes ago, today is my first day as the administrator. But prior to PMS, I did have...
As soon as Jill files that paperwork, we know. She's on it.
Right,
She's
yes.
on it.
Prior to coming to PMS, I did have 10 years of early childhood experience with tribal early Head Start. So I definitely bring a great deal of knowledge and experience to the table with this new role.
Very good. Well, congratulations again, and I'm sure that everyone at PMS is thrilled to have you on board in this new position. And there's a lot to take in. I know it's a big job, especially home visiting, because the area that you are going out, not you personally, but your team is going out, is a pretty vast area, right? You cover most of San Juan County,
Yeah,
if not
a
more.
large part of San Juan County. I know there are home visiting programs throughout New Mexico, but we do cover a large majority of San Juan County, from Shiprock to Blanco, and everything in between.
Nice. That is a big area, so that's important. And so, as far as the other Head Start programs and early Head Start programs, I believe I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Jill will because she knows. But you have classes that are maybe half day or full day or things along that line. Is that kind of some of the things
Yeah,
you're
I
able
would
to
consider
offer?
half and full. We start. Some of our classes start as early as 7:45, and so, the last round of sessions start at 8:15. And just as they end, some end at 2:15 and some end at 2:45. And we sort of mix it up. That way we don't have everybody piling in at the front door all at once.
Sure.
So we do have options, and I like that the options can be accommodating to our families. Some families, prefer the 7:30 or the 7:15. 7:45, I apologize.
Right.
And some prefer the 8:15 drop off, and then
Gotcha.
just like the pickup. Some prefer the 2:15 and some prefer the 2:45.
Right.
And we do have a variety of classes with those different times stretched out across the county. We have 5 centers currently. We have our Kirtland site, which is just Head Start. Our Little Feet, which is up in the Nappy housing area. That is early Head Start. And then our largest center here in Farmington is the Carlton Center. That is early Head Start, and our New Mexico Pre-K. And then we have Cottonwood and Aztec. Aztec
Nice.
and Cottonwood are both early Head Start and Head Start.
Very good. And so again, there's spots available at all these different locations. So maybe if someone lives in one location but works in a different location, they can maybe choose whichever site works best for them, because it's the same
Absolutely.
type of standards and curriculum all over the place, right?
Yes. Same curriculum we have across the county for all of our centers.
Got you. And I believe that PMS is really proud of the fact that the curriculum is somewhat accredited, and your staff is accredited too. Is that correct?
Yes. Our curriculum we use currently is the creative curriculum, the teaching strategies, and it aligns with our assessment tool we use, which is the teaching strategies gold. So whatever curriculum activities we plan can basically tie into the assessment part that we do, and we do 3 checkpoints throughout the year, which making sure that our students are progressing in their goals and their outcomes. And you mentioned accredited teachers. Yes, all of our teachers are accredited either with a CDA, CDC, associates, bachelor's, and I think we have a master's degree on staff.
Nice. Very good. And you mentioned too that your home visiting curriculum is based on data-driven across the country,
research
things like that,
evidence-based
right?
curriculum is the parents as teachers. We do have parent educators who do have to go through a series of training to get certified to teach the curriculum to the students in their homes.
Right. Very good. And in addition to having seats for students and parents to sign up their students for Head Start and Early Head Start, you've got some openings staffing-wise too, do you not?
Yes, currently we have early Head Start teachers. We have teacher in trainings. We're looking for an education coordinator, family service coordinator, center supervisors for our Carlton Center. Our teaching positions, our early Head Start teachers and our center supervisor, there are, I believe, $4,000 sign-on bonus. So anybody interested in those, both would require an associate's degree for the early Head Start teacher or a CDA, CDC. And for the center supervisor, at minimum, an associate's degree.
Okay.
But yes, like I did mention, we are actively recruiting for those.
Nice. San Juan College future graduates. We're talking to
Graduates,
you.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely
right.
want to reach out to them.
Very, very good. Well, wonderful. And Jyl Adair, let me come back to you a little bit about some of the things that Frankie was talking about. And I know you are very familiar with the Head Start and Early Head Start programs, because you and I have talked about this for a number of years. And you have your old job is Frankie's new job, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I've been with PMS for 23 years, and so I've had the pleasure of running 3 of our 5 programs, and one of those being Children's Services for about 11 years.
Right. And so with that, I just want to talk a bit more about it, because it seems like our state in New Mexico is really putting a lot of resources into Head Start and Early Head Start and helping families and things like that. Is that something of why we're seeing all these opportunities maybe for parents to get their children involved in these programs, or the home visiting? That seems to be another newer addition to things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, our state is very focused, family focused, and early childhood focused. So I think we are very blessed for that. So we are seeing really a robust amount of pre-K for both 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds throughout the state, but in particular in our county. I think that, there are some little bit of oversaturation, of course. We have to be able to look at how many children, that we have in all of our areas. But yes, so for, also I do want to add really quick is that all of our facilities are NACE accredited, which is one of the highest accreditations that is nationally seen. And so, we take really pride in that, for sure. And so, but back to the piece of, what are we seeing again statewide? And I think that, having home visiting, you can definitely still be in home visiting and participate in our early Head Start or Head Start programs, or pre-K. You can still even go to pre-K elsewhere and still be participating in our home visiting.
Got you. Very good.
Yeah.
And as Frankie was saying, that some of these services are free of charge for families that meet those income requirements. And so is that maybe widening a little bit with some of the state's investment in some of these programs?
So it is, and definitely the poverty level, as things kind of rise, the poverty level still rises. So I always tell everybody, don't just assume that you're not going to meet those qualifications, because more than likely you do. All of our services in children's services are free. So we do not do any type of fee for service or anything. Our pre-K, our early Head Start, our home visiting, all of those are free. And also for early Head Start, one of the big things is that we provide those diapers and those wipes, formula, baby food, a lot of places that when you take your child, whether it is to an in-home daycare or to any of the preschools, you have to pack lunch or you have to pack a breakfast. You have to bring those diapers, or they have to be potty trained. Our children don't have to be potty trained, to come to us. We will help work with the parents on that and work with the child.
Gotcha. That's somewhat unique, I would think.
Yes, very much.
When it comes to Head Start and early Head Start
absolutely.
programs.
And a huge savings, right?
No kidding.
When you think
I
about
haven't priced diapers in a long time, but I'm just saying.
They are expensive. And everything, right? How everything's gone up. But, you stop and you think just alone about childcare and what people are paying for childcare. And really, we do have high-quality childcare. As Frankie stated, all of our teachers have a degree. I'm very proud of that, having they have a credential or a true AA, BA, MA degree. And, not a lot of places can truly say that. And so I'm very, very proud of that piece.
Right. Well, I know it's a lot of hard work for you and all the staff to get those accreditations and those standards and all those things in place, and you're really proud of all those accomplishments, and you should be. So thank you for sharing that. Frankie, I want to come back to you a little bit about the work, again, that you have done with Children's Services and this home visiting program and things along that line. Again, it's got to be really rewarding to work with families and their young children to set them up for success when they go into kindergarten and things like that. That's kind of what some of the Head Start and early Head Start programs are designed to do, correct?
Absolutely. They call it school readiness through Head Start. And, our main goal is preparing these students for kindergarten as early as, 2 months old.
That seems awfully young, but
it is.
But maybe not too young to start, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. We're helping the families and the students establish those early milestones. At 2 months old, if a child can soothe themselves after their mom drops them off, that's an accomplishment. If a child can hold their bottle during feeding, that's an accomplishment. Tummy time is really important for the young age. And then I've seen students feed themselves. As soon as they turn a year, they transition from baby food to table food, and just watching they might have the mess all over their face, but just watching them feed themselves is developing those gross motor or those fine motor skills in their hands, and then progressing into walking, running, bending, climbing steps. There's so much that we do in building those motor skills for the students that basically set the tone for the rest of their educational journey.
Right.
And then moving into Head Start, preparing those basic school readiness goals. Their numbers, colors, shapes, how to hold a pencil, how to write their name, how to spell their name, all that stuff. Preparing them for kindergarten is our focus.
Right. Very good. And that's similar, whether it's Head Start or early Head Start or home visiting. It's all these same types of focuses, I guess, on the child and their development.
Absolutely.
Very, very good. And Jyl Adair, I'm coming back to you a little bit to talk a bit more about PMS here in the Northwest region. Again, it's a statewide organization, but PMS offers a lot of programs and resources here in the San Juan County area. It's one of the larger regions of the organizations, as I'm familiar with. And you, as Northwest Region Director, are working with all of these things. And so there's a lot of other things that PMS does that we're even not touching on yet this morning, but a lot of things and a lot of lives that the organization touches and improves every day.
Yes, absolutely. We, at our Farmington Community Health Center that we talked about briefly, where the community campus is located.
Yes.
We do have our medical department there, and, we have a couple of PAs and a couple of, about 3 NPs and a couple of MDs, 3 MDs, and then we also have a pediatrician. And so I think that's the piece that often people kind of forget about, is that we do have a pediatric MD that's on site, and then we also have our dental department, and we have psychiatry and behavioral health, and then we have our TOTA program, and our TOTA program works with the inebriate population and the homeless population, and they work really close with the court system. We really want to ensure that we're helping those individuals to really better themselves. And, we have Paul's Place, which is a dormitory, and we have the Sobering Center. And so really our TOTA program is still the Total program, but really we're turning that into a campus of care as we have been expanding with all of these different programs that are down there. And then, as Frankie mentioned, our Roundtree program, which is our early intervention program, birth to 3, kiddos with disabilities. And then we also have our Project Shield program, which is used to be only adults 18 plus with disabilities, but now we are starting to receive children and individuals as young as 13. And then, of course, we have our children's services.
Right. Very, very good. And with the Project Shield, I mean, these children, these young teenagers, 13 years old, they are doing what at Project Shield?
So, they are at school all day, and then whenever, if they choose Project Shield for day hab. So Project Shield offers day habilitation and supported employment. So day habilitation is however much time that is stated on their individual service plan, which is an ISP. Then they meet that amount of time, let's say it's a couple of hours, after school, maybe they're just, with their support instructor, and they're out and about in the community doing things that they like to continue to integrate them into regular population.
Nice, in a safe and supervised way.
Absolutely.
Right, which is what it's all about. And the adults too, I guess, have a
the adults too. And the difference, is that majority of the adults have longer time frames. So they're usually 6 hours a day for day habilitation. And then if they want a job, then that is definitely something that we work with them to help them, get a job of their choice and help them through that interview and application process. And then we have a job coach that is with them on the job and is, supporting them while they are working to ensure that they stay on task.
Very good. Well, lots of great success stories out of that program and all the other ones that we're talking about this morning, too. The TOTA program certainly is well known, I think, across the state. I think a lot of folks look at it as a way to maybe try to duplicate or copy some of these services in their communities for some of these real vulnerable populations, and the partnerships that PMS has forged with other organizations, whether private or nonprofit or governmental, to make these things happen. I mean, I know you don't do it on your own, but through these partnerships, it's able to make a difference in the community, which is, I think, another important thing for folks to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for coming in this morning. We've run out of time because we're talking about all the great things that PMS does in the community. If folks have questions about signing up for Head Start or Early Head Start, Frankie Ortiz, can they give you a call at your new number as soon as Jill turns on your phone?
Yes, absolutely. So the Carlton Center number is 505 443-4301, and if you wish to apply, we have a new online application for our services, and that application can be found at the pmsnm.org website, and the application is completely revised, and it helps us better improve our way of getting students enrolled quicker.
Right.
So definitely, if you guys are interested in the Early Head Start, New Mexico Pre-K and or home visiting, those applications, again, can be found at that website.
Okay, pmsnm.org
Yes.
is the website, so wonderful. Thank you both for coming in. Great to see you both, and appreciate your time this morning. My guests from Presbyterian Medical Services here with me on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hi, this is Marianne coming to you with your Study Tip of the Week. Switch up your study spots. Studying in the same spot can get tedious, so why not mix it up and get a new perspective on things? College campuses have tons of study spots for students, from the library to the campus lawn to local cafes. Think back to studying with friends and finding an area to set up for an hour or for the day. Take advantage of these study areas, both indoors and outdoors, and give yourself a new view every day.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.